So 3 years ago, I made a video talking about how Darius Garland went from being one of the worst players in the NBA to an All-Star. Flash forward to 2025, and now Darius Garland is a two-time All-Star. And when I made that video, I thought it was good, but I thought it could have been way better. I wasn't using my potential to the way it could have been. So this is going to be an up-to-date version of that video where I'm going to talk about exactly in the areas Darius Garland improved in, and I'm going to go into more in depth into what exactly Darius Garland did to improve. Because in my last video, I didn't do that, but I will be in this video today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Darius Garland didn't have the typical upbringing in the NBA like a lot of NBA stars do when they're drafted in the top 10 in the NBA draft. His road to becoming an all-star and the player he is today was not as easy as a lot of people think it is. When you're picked as high as Darius Garland did in the NBA draft in 2019, people almost expect you immediately to be a star. And if you're not a star immediately, or at least close to it, people are going to immediately say you're a bust or you're a disappointment. Garland was one of those players who got there early, and I mean his rookie year early. So we're going to take you back to Darius Garland's high school career before we even get into his NBA career. Darius Garland played high school basketball at Brentwood Academy in Brentwood, Tennessee. And Darius Garland, he didn't just play basketball for any reason, he came from a basketball family. Darius Garland's dad, Winston Garland, played 7 seasons in the NBA for the Warriors, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Rockets, and then at the end of his career, the Minnesota Timberwolves. So essentially, playing basketball was in Darius Garland's DNA. Going back to Brentwood Academy, coming out of high school in the class of 2018, Darius Garland was ranked as a number 11 player in the nation as a 5-star recruit, and he was ranked as the best point guard in the class of 2018. 2018 was a pretty notable class. That's where RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Nasir Little, Bobo, and of course Zion Williamson came from. Garland made an impact as a freshman as he averaged 17 points per game, 1.3 rebounds, 2.7 assists, while leading his team to a state championship. As a sophomore, Garland averaged 18.6 points per game and 4.3 assists, once again being named one of the top players in the state of Tennessee. Garland's numbers will continue to take jumps up year after year. As a junior, he averaged 23.4 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.1 steals. As a senior, he averaged a whopping 27 points per game, 5.0 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 1.7 steals. He once again led his team to a state championship as a junior, and he also led to a state championship in his senior season. He also won Mr. Basketball of the state of Tennessee 3 times, being the only player other than Brandon Wright to do just that. Darius Garland in high school, and now, it was always clear that he had high potential to be a high-level threat as a scorer and also a high-level threat as a playmaker. When it came down to make his decision to what school he was going to play for, he had a lot of options: Arizona State, Kentucky, Indiana, UCLA, and Vanderbilt, and that's exactly where he would choose, as Vanderbilt was not too far from his hometown of Brentwood. Garland entered the 2018 season as the best recruit ever to sign with Vanderbilt, and he was the only freshman in the SEC to make the preseason all-conference team. In Darius Garland's first game for the Commodores, he put up 24 points on 9 for 15 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3, 2 steals, and 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. In a win over USC, Southern California, Darius Garland once again led the team in points, scoring 19 points in his second game with the team. Garland would then put up a career high against Liberty, where he scored 33 points on 12 for 18 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Unfortunately for Darius Garland, his career at Vanderbilt would be very short, and I mean very short. After only playing just 2 minutes with the team against Kent State, during a layup, Darius Garland was suffering injury, and he would leave the game early, and he would not come back. 4 days later, Vanderbilt head coach Bryce Drew revealed that Darius Garland would be sidelined for the remainder of the season with a meniscus injury. Then on January 22, 2019, Darius Garland announced that he would be leaving Vanderbilt to recover from his injury, and he will prepare to enter the 2019 NBA draft. Now, this might have been a bold move considering Darius Garland only played a couple of games in college. However, a lot of scouts and experts were enamored by Darius Garland's range, shiftiness, and playmaking. So, he gambled on himself and he decided, I'm going to prove him the best player in this class. I'm going to prove him one of the best guards in this class. Worked out pretty well for Garland, as he was one of the 77 players invited to the NBA Draft Combine. However, he left the event early, as one team would tell him, we're going to draft you, so stop doing all this, you don't got to worry about this, we're going to draft you regardless. Now, it wasn't really clear what team promised Darius Garland that they were going to draft him. However, the rumors are that it was the Phoenix Suns, but the Phoenix Suns would not even be close to drafting him. It was also rumored that the Los Angeles Lakers promised to draft him 4th overall. However, they would end up taking DeAndre Hunter, and then they would end up trading him away to the Atlanta Hawks. And in the end, Darius Garland went to the Cleveland Cavaliers with the 5th overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft. Now, this was a head scratcher for a lot of people at the time because the Cleveland Cavaliers had just drafted Collin Sexton, who was a guard previously in the 2018 NBA draft. Many people thought that the Cavaliers were going to draft somebody like Jarrett Culver, but in the end, they ended up going best player available, and they went Darius Garland. Garland made his debut for the Cleveland Cavaliers on October 23, 2019, scoring 8 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Darius Garland would also make history in this game, becoming the first player born in the 2000s to make his NBA debut. Despite getting blown out in this game, Darius Garland put up a season-high 23 points on 9 for 60 from the field and 5 for 8 from 3 against the Mavericks. On my last video, when I did this, I called Darius Garland the worst player in the NBA in my title, and a lot of people were in the comment section saying, why was I calling Darius Garland the worst player in the NBA? And that's kind of my fault because in the video, I didn't explain this thoroughly, so this time around, I will do just that. One of the main reasons why Darius Garland was considered to be one of the worst players in the NBA at this time was that Darius Garland was last in win shares, value over replacement player, and ESPN's real plus minus. Now, I'm going to explain this as best as possible. What this basically means is Darius Garland wasn't making much impact, and his offensive numbers wasn't doing much to impact the team as well. Somebody that looks at Darius Garland and watched him in his rookie year might say Darius Garland wasn't the worst player. Advanced stats say that he was the worst player, which is why I said that in my video. So hopefully for anybody who watched my original video, it explains that a little bit better, or at least gets that a little bit better. Overall, Darius Garland played 59 games in his rookie year, averaging 12.3 points per game, 3.9 assists, 1.9 rebounds, 40% from the field, and 35% from 3. Darius Garland had some of his struggles. He improved later on in the season, and his ability as a playmaker and shooting continued to be on display and would be a foreshadowing of what Darius Garland will be in the future. Despite playing 4 less games than he did in his rookie season, Darius Garland's numbers would take a big jump up in his sophomore season as he averaged 17.4 points per game, 6.1 assists, 2.4 rebounds, 1.3 steals, and also 45% from the field, 39% from 3, and 84% free throw percentage. Garland once again got better as a shooter, his efficiency went up, and also he started to see that as an increased responsibility as a playmaker. His playmaking also got up as well. Darius Garland's 3rd season would be where he proved he is one of the best point guards in the NBA. Collin Sexton, who had been the Cavs' best player for the past 2 seasons, scoring-wise, would get injured early and he would eventually miss the rest of the season. That meant that Darius Garland was going to have to take that next big step for this team to prove he could be the one to lead them, and he would do just that. In 68 games in his 3rd season, Darius Garland would average 21.7 points per game, 8.6 assists, 3.3 rebounds, 1.3 steals, 46% from the field, 38% from 3, and 89% from the field throw percentage. Darius Garland's 8.6 assists this year proved that he could be the primary ball handler and facilitator for a team, and proved that his court vision and decision making was absolutely at the top of the game. Garland also proved that he was one of the more shifty players in the NBA, and that meant his mid-range and floater game was one of the best in the league as well. And Darius Garland took on a leadership role pretty confidently for the most part. While the Cavaliers unfortunately didn't make the playoffs due to a few injuries they had with their team, it proved that Darius Garland and the Cavaliers were next up, and they were just going to need a few more pieces, and this team was truly going to be contending. And yes, the All-Star game would be in Cleveland in 2021, and Darius Garland would be named to his first All-Star that year. Absolutely poetic. Darius Garland was about to get some help in his 4th season in the NBA. He was about to get none other than Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz, one of the best shooting guards in the NBA, to play alongside him. For the most part, Darius Garland's numbers didn't take that much of a dip. He still averaged 21 points per game, 7.8 assists, 2.7 rebounds, 1.2 steals, 46% from the field, 41% from 3, and 86% from 3 from the free throw line. Darius Garland had a pretty good year under Donovan Mitchell for the first time. However, Darius Garland's next season, it would be filled with a lot of turmoil. In Darius Garland's fifth season with the Cavs, early on in this season, he would end up breaking his jaw, and as a result, he missed a couple of games. Matter of fact, a good number of games. Not only that, he would end up losing a considerable amount of weight that affected him from a play standpoint. Not only that, his grandma also died this season, adding another element of his game that unfortunately would take a toll on him. His numbers would take a bump from the 2022-2023 season. After averaging 21 points from this season, he was now averaging 18 points. After shooting 41% from the field in 2022, he was now averaging 37% from the field. And after averaging 46% from the field in 2022, he was now averaging 44% from the field. His assist number dropped from 7.8 to 6.5, which is not bad, but as I said, still a drop. Darius Garland's first postseason against the Knicks was pretty disappointing, and unfortunately, in his second year, it wouldn't be any better. He only averaged 15 points per game, 35% from 3, and 42% from the field, so not really good. Darius Garland, boy oh boy, it was going to be another special year with the Cavaliers. Now being under Kenny Atkinson and having a chance to basically get healthy in the offseason, Darius Garland was going to take a bump, and everybody knew he was going to be big time this season. And so far, he's been great. Donovan Mitchell giving Darius Garland the ball a lot more. Darius Garland is averaging 21.7 points per game, 6.9 assists, 42% from 3, and also 50% from the field. All of those at this point are huge career highs, and Darius Garland is for the most part headed for a career year. And of course, he was once again named to the All-Star game for the second time in his NBA career. Mitchell said it, and now I'm gonna say it. I want everybody who was on that side talking about Darius Garland and how he was bad, not another good point guard in the NBA. I want y'all to stay on that side because this man went through a lot in the offseason and he improved from all of it. And now look at him now, balling once again. 50% from the field, 42% from the 3-point line. That is insane. Darius Garland was definitely good in his All-Star year the first time, but it seems like this year he is even better. He seems a lot more shiftier, and his floater game and mid-range game seems a lot better. Even in his non-All-Star years, Darius Garland just seems so much more improved in those areas. Darius Garland's biggest flaws in his career over the past couple years was that he wasn't being aggressive enough. He was just taking 3-point shots and not going to the paint and shooting and driving to the rim. And he's doing that a lot more now, and he is seeing big rewards from it. Like I said, 50% from the field. Darius Garland has never been known for being a great defender in his NBA career, but I gotta say, even in that area, he's been pretty solid this year. Basically prove what I'm talking about. Darius Garland's finger roll shots in 2024, it was 55% and 59 attempts. This year, he already has 44 attempts, so he's on a good pace to basically beat out that, and he's shooting 68%. I told y'all before, his floater was no joke, and in a lot of his floater shots, he's shooting over 50%. Like I said, impressive, deadly floater game. Oh yeah, and pull-up shot wise, you make Darius Garland put up with a stick, he gonna hit. 40% pull-up shooter, by the way, from the 3-point line. When it's in the clutch, Darius Garland has been coming up big for the Cavaliers this season, as he is averaging over a 60-point field goal percentage in the clutch. So when the Cavs need him most in these big moments, in these late games, he's coming up big. Continues to prove why he is deadly when it comes to the catch and shoot, as he is averaging 48% from the field in that position. He has always been deadly in the pick and roll position, and ironically, Darius Garland was the worst player at one point in the plus minus in his rookie year. Now in the clutch, he has one of the best plus minuses in the NBA. Look at how the story is. I wasn't joking when I said his defense has literally been so much better this season. He is allowing players to shoot 41% from the field in the fourth quarter. So even his defense is coming up big in the fourth quarter. I think you get the point. Darius Garland has improved in pretty much every way you want him to this NBA this season, and that is why he is looking like one of the best point guards in the NBA, and that's exactly why he got the All-Star nod over guys like Trae Young and LaMelo Ball. Garland proved to everybody that he is still one of those guys. Just because he had some injuries last year and some, unfortunate incidents, he is still one of the better players in the NBA, one of the best point guards in the NBA, and he's proven that. So hopefully anybody who wrote Darius Garland off, no, don't even write back. Don't even write back. Just sit here and watch him. Just sit here and watch you prove you wrong. You guys were telling me in my last time I made this video I wasn't being informed enough and I wasn't telling you enough, so hopefully I changed that in this video today, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also make football content, but I'm taking a break from that right now to put this video out, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel and tap the bell icon for future basketball content, and follow me on social media down below in the description, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.